Gentlemen,
Robert,
long time coming, and here we are. First episode of Lending Leadership with the Mortgage Pros. I'm really excited to be doing this with you guys.
I'm excited too, brother.
Heck yeah, let's go.
I'm so excited. So, kicking off this show, what we want to do just to kind of get started, let's intro ourselves a little bit so everyone know who they're on listening to, and then let's just talk a little bit about what brought us together, why we're doing this, what we want to chat about, what they can look forward to. Go from there. I'm gonna have some fun with this, so be ready.
Yeah.
Who wants to kick off the intro?
I'm Tom Mills, a 19-year veteran of the mortgage industry, and really looking forward to bringing some experience and value into some of our conversations here.
I love it. I'll go next. I'm Robert Fillyaw, managing partner, minority owner of HMA Mortgage. 21 years in the mortgage business, and really looking forward just to sharing some ideas with these guys. I think the coolest thing about what we're going to be able to do is open up some insight, maybe some behind the scenes from an ownership and leadership perspective that maybe your everyday originator just doesn't have. I think that that insight's going to maybe help understand and grow business. I'm really excited to help put some ideas out there and some leadership into the market that's lacking. So I look a little red today. I'm not sunburned. I'm not on fire. We're getting our lighting right. So to be continued on that, but excited to be doing this. Wouldn't want to do it with anybody else than you two guys.
Your lighting and Dave's Botox, between the two, it's I'm not going to look at the screen.
I swear I've never had Botox on my children's honor.
Okay.
Kidding.
Dave Holland, I've been in the business for 24 years, actually in September of 2000. Started HMA Mortgage in 2005, and what a great business we're in, guys, that we can help people make good money, help loan officers, help ops people. It's a wonderful business. Like Robert and Tom, my lighting's not perfect, but let's get the show on the road.
So I think this is a great opportunity to point out that Dave has been in the business longer than Tom and I, because he is older than Tom and I. So
different generations. I mean, we're different generations, right?
I mean, one of us on this podcast, I know one of us on this show routinely wears Birkenstocks and the other two do not. So we'll let you guys come to figure out who that is.
We'll leave it up to the audience.
So listen, a little bit of backstory on us. I'm just going to throw this out there for those of you who may not know. So Tom, Dave, and I were all in our respective careers and have recently come together and really formed a dynamic partnership, the Mortgage Trinity, as I like to call it, through a merger of our groups into one bomb-ass organization known as HMA Mortgage. So we came together through coaching, something the three of us believe a lot in, and have now formed this partnership with a single goal of kind of building the best damn mortgage company that's ever existed. So I think what's going to be really cool about this podcast is getting to kind of follow along with us in that journey, seeing where we flub, the mistakes we run into, the walls we hit. I know one of my goals is to be super, super raw and transparent and just, kind of put a lot of insight out there. What are you guys hoping to get out of this? Like, what are some goals that you want to see from here?
The opportunity to just further collaborate. I think all of us have spent a lot of time investing in ourselves and our careers through coaching and learning, and not everybody's had that luxury. I feel like I've personally, spent over $500,000 to learn how to be better at a lot of things tied to this industry. And, when you think about it, we go to conferences, we're just at one, you learn so much there, but what's so powerful in working with people in this industry, talking with people, collaborating with people is it's the conversations that I have at conferences, not always the someone that's up there on stage speaking and hitting on a topic. So I personally look forward to kind of bringing that collaboration, bringing our conversations into here. We can just have them here now instead of having them on the phone and then coming here. So looking forward to kind of bringing some value, some leadership, some insight. Lots to talk about in the business right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have gotten so much from mentors and coaches and other people in the industry I started professionally being coached in 2018. And I've been given so much in both the operations realm and then in the sales realm. My business has grown so much HMA, and then my personal business. And there's no conceivable way I could have done this on my own. So definitely want to give back. Definitely want to give. The three of us are full of great ideas. Robert mentioned, see how we flub. We flubbed, the past 9-10 months a lot. It's a complex business. There's a lot of moving parts. We're at the mercy of the macro economy. And there's been some wild swings, that everyone knows, the last 4 years.
Listen, the flub's just as important as the home runs, right? Because we're especially with this group, like we're never going to really lose. We're going to learn, right? So even the things that we mess up, we learn from it, and that just makes us better the next time around. I love what you guys said about the coaching. I'm in that same boat. I started professional coaching in 2015, and like, it's not an understatement when I say it changed my life. It literally changed the entire trajectory of my life and my work-life balance and the time and availability I had to spend with my family. And honestly, guys, like, that was the first step in a long journey that led us to today, right? Because we all three met in coaching, and now it's going to continue to change our lives. And our mentor, Carl White, shout out to Carl in the Mortgage Marketing Animals Freedom Club. He gives this analogy that I always think about, and this is one more ripple, right? He talks about the ripple in the pond. You throw the pebble and it just ripples out. And that's what coaching has done for us. Like, it impacts us, and then we impact people because of it, and then they impact people, and those people impact people. This podcast is just another way to do that. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. I mean, same on my end. I mean, not only did coaching change my life financially, I was able to make a lot more money, but I also got my life back. I can actually go on a week-long vacation and not be hiding like in the living room or something away from my family and wife because I have to work for 2 hours, or getting up at 3:30 in the morning. So, hey, vacations are great. I forgot what taking one was like. It was like a solid 15 years that I could have a legitimate vacation. And, true story, I would take my vacations when I was younger, like in 2006 to say 2012, before I was married. I'd go backpacking for a week in the middle of like the Adirondacks or the middle of the White Mountains. I went to Kilimanjaro for 2 weeks, places where I had
savage.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's not that. Places I wouldn't have access to my cell phone or email, where I couldn't actually work, and it was like a forced unplug.
I think people create an excuse. Like the reality of it is if you can't take a week, a 3 or 4 day, extended weekend, a couple of vacations a year, and kind of tune out, like, it's not your job. It's a lot you. You kind of
you're doing something really wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
You need to look inside.
Not throwing that much at you. And you know what? If it is, give yourself a little bit of respect and throw some boundaries down, because, man, especially in a business like this, I need my time away. As much as I just think if you focus on the right things day in and day out, you can absolutely take time away.
But when you're an LO with no support or limited support, and your entire career is based on sometimes how quickly and accurately you can respond, and you don't have help, you can't take a vacation. You need some form of support that you can trust so you can get away.
Well,
it's hard.
Activities
it's hard.
And nobody builds the team and then brings the business in. It's bring the business and build the team along the way. So we've all gone through those tough times, those sacrifice, taking the Saturday, Sunday morning calls, missing part of your son's game, whatever it may be. But, in the end of the day, that was excuses because we weren't running our business efficiently.
Well, we didn't know how to run our businesses until we were shown the light.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love coaching most on, right? Is the systems and processes to build the efficiency to get the work-life balance back, because there's nothing like made tons of money, done lots of cool stuff, been cool places, met cool people. Yeah. There's still nothing quite as powerful as having someone say, hey, thanks for giving me my life back. Or better yet, having one of their family members come up and say, hey, thanks for giving me, my dad back. Like,
and that's happened to you a couple times.
It's happened a couple times, and it's really powerful. Like, every time it still gets me. So
for those of you originators out there, you can grow your business and you can grow your quality of life at the same time. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't fool yourself. You can do it.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I'm a great example. I went away to Hawaii for 3 weeks in the summer of 22, And it taught me two things. Number one, my team doesn't need me. And number two, when I got myself out of the way, all I did was make us focus phone calls for an hour or two a day, 3 or 4 days a week. I actually did more business. So sometimes I'm self-sabotaging my own business and I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited as we continue to go. We're going to be talking a lot about these topics and digging in and really getting granular on some of this. And this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of takeaway from this for those of you out there tuning in. So I hope you'll definitely hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as we go. But one thing I was curious about, guys, as we kind of get to know people out there and they get to know us, is let's share a little bit what got us in this industry. Like, I've never met a single person that is growing up, or I've ever seen a single like worksheet. What do you want to be when you grow up? And someone put mortgage loan originator. I don't know a single person that set out to get into the mortgage loan origination business.
My top two were farmer and soldier. Those are the top two professions that I got on my personality test when I was in high school. Farmer and soldier.
I guess you do a kind of farming. It's a little bit like farming. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, how I got into business, I'll go first. My dad's a real estate attorney. I started studying for the LSTAS after 5 years of college and two.
Wait, five. I thought college takes 4. I didn't graduate college, so I don't know, but it's supposed to take 4.
Well,
right?
I did get three powerful degrees. I got a major in history, sociology with a minor in philosophy. So wasn't really on this great career. So I started studying for the LSTATs. I realized at a certain point, at a certain point, I would make a mediocre attorney at best. So for lack of a better thing to do, I'm from Erie, PA. My mom grew up in Pittsburgh. I took some interviews in Pittsburgh, which is a larger city than Erie. I got 2 job offers. One was $1,000 a month with health insurance. The other was 100% commission, no health insurance. So I took the $1,000 a month with health insurance, lived in my grandparents' basement for 12, 13 months, crawled my way out of there. And I tell you what, I've never worked the first year. I worked so hard. I worked 12, 14 hours a day. I didn't have any business, right? All I did was read and, make phone calls and listen to self-help books on tape. And I worked really hard to get out of my grandparents' basement. It was a cool time in my life, right? Because I was with my 80-some-year-old grandparents, but I knew I had to get out there as quickly as possible. Nothing's like motivation than living in your grandparents' basement.
And the mortgage business did it.
That's powerful.
You got out, Dave. You got out.
For those of you younger listeners who are listening, so when Dave says he listened to stuff on tape, there used to be these things called cassette tapes, right? Like that you would play. And I'll go next. Like, I had no intentions of getting into the mortgage industry. I actually, if you look back on all of my, like 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade, I wanted to be a Marine, right? I wanted to go in the Marine Corps, which I did. I went to the Marine Corps in the reserves, not right out of high school. So I was a little bit of a ship adrift, if you will. Got out of high school, started college. College wasn't really my thing. I was working part-time at a bank as a teller, and part-time at a grocery store, and going to college full-time, and went to the Marine Corps Reserve, and was just kind of doing that and trying to get through school. School wasn't my thing. So I really started to decide that I wanted to focus on one of the 2 careers, either the grocery store or the banking side. Right. And
hold on. What were you doing at the grocery store?
I was a cashier. I was a office staff, and was going to go into management, right? Which it's Publix. It's a massive grocery store.
There's a career track there.
There's customer service training back then.
Great customer service training, and the managers all made 6 figures, right? They're employee-owned, great company, right? But weekends, holidays, you're going to be working. And I started looking at the bank side. I was like, well, I get all these holidays off. I get paid to be off, right? Still going to college, but I was thinking, okay, one of these 2 tracks. So then what happened is, a lot of the people I worked with at the bank, they started graduating college and leaving to go get jobs. And 3 months later, they were back working at the bank, because even though they had college degrees, they weren't getting jobs. So I kind of said, And from there, just started working my way up through the bank, right? Went teller to personal banker, realized I had a little bit of a knack for sales, assistant branch manager, was managing a banking center with like 15, 16 employees. Actually went to Iraq in 2006 and came back. I was a platoon sergeant and came back and decided I didn't want to manage anybody. I didn't want to be responsible for anyone but myself. So got married in December of 06 and promptly started a job as a commissioned only loan originator in 2007. Now, I had done mortgage before in the banking center, right? Closed my first mortgage in 2003, but actually jumped full on into retail mortgage lending in 07. Brand new married, commissioned only position, and really just burned the boats on the shore and couldn't look back.
How were the nights and weekends and holidays then?
What were those? what were nights and weekends, right? So just, went full bore, went all in, and have never looked back. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah. I too, no plans for the mortgage business like everybody else. It's first of all, what a scary point in life when you're like, in your early 20s, just getting out of college. You don't know what your calling is. You don't know what you're supposed to do out there in this world. It's a really scary point. I remember through college, I started working full-time for a bank, MBNA, learned a lot there. One of the best organizations I ever worked for, amazing culture. I think a lot of who I am today just learned that ingrained in me really young in my early career working. But I started working while I was in school full-time. I started working full-time and moving to night classes more to discipline myself because if I have a lot of free time, I was going to not use it so wisely. So I kind of keep my busy schedule to avoid wasting time. So just kind of like if you want to avoid eating garbage, don't put garbage in your cupboard or your fridge.
I feel attacked. Easy, Tom. I feel attacked.
So I was working for a credit card bank and expressed an interest in their mortgage division because I heard they were making higher commissions than anybody else. And I was very selfish, all about myself at that point. And I got a taste of like kind of what corporate America was, where, I expressed an interest in a role, but they felt I was going to go another direction. And I then felt like, man, this is corporate America. I don't want this. And I went into the mortgage business. I had a friend that just had started with Ameriquest. It was actually number one lender in the nation then, if you guys remember them. It wasn't that long. My office actually got shut down for fraud. There's probably a whole nother entire episode we could have there.
Were there windbreakers involved?
The pre-crash days?
Yeah, the pre-crash days.
Wild West.
And I was innocent, and I'm here to tell the stories, and went on and carried on my 19-year career. But, that was a little scary. And then because I just started, I was doing really well. I'd been there like a year, and life was everything I wanted it to be, and excitement and flying around the country to top producer trips and, being taken care of. And it was awesome, making great money I never thought was even imaginable. But, then it ended up bringing me into the next step into the IMB space and the small IMB that's now a very large IMB. And then shortly after that, I built my first sales team. One of those like who's coming with me kind of moments, and started a sales team together with a partner at the age of 26. And through years of coaching and connecting with people, collaborating, working with a large organization, growing a big region, having a lot of fun doing it. All those connections, all that experience brought me right here where I am today, working with you three. And we got another 20 years ahead of us, perhaps.
Maybe you guys do.
To be continued.
Me and you do. Dave well, maybe 15.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be dead in 20 years.
That's so morbid. Not true either. Dave's probably in the best shape of the three of us, so not true.
True that.
Within about a year, 14 months of being in the mortgage business, I knew this is what I wanted to do for life.
Me too.
I was good at it. I was, at that time I perceived I was making good money. I was able to move out of my grandparents' basement, but literally within a year, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I had a little bit of success. I was closing 3 or 4 transactions a month, and I'm like, this is it. And that's pretty powerful too. You mentioned Tom, we're kind of rudderless when we're younger, early 20s. It's nerve-wracking. You have no financial security.
Yeah.
I thought it was very powerful feeling when I said to myself, this is my career. When I had friends like 10 years later who didn't have their career, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. And if I just focused on it, I'd be successful.
Well, and let's be real, right? Like, I'd put this career against anything out there because does it take a lot of time? Is it taxing? Yes, but you control the time that it takes, right? Like, it's flexible in that sense, especially with technology today. Like, literally, I can work anywhere. I told Lacey yesterday, we were having lunch, our kids are going to be out of the house in 4 years. I was like, hey, here's a crazy idea. Our kids get out of the house. Why don't we sell the house and we'll just live somewhere for a few months at a time, and we can travel the world? Because we can work
that's my idea. That's my idea.
Don't tell her I stole it, though. We can literally work anywhere, right? And then you factor in the money, right? We make really good money for what we do. And then you sprinkle on the fact that we get to help people and help them achieve the dream of homeownership and walk through it. Like, it's magical, right? I was the guy, I worked in the retail bank where I was chained there from 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, and worried if my lunch took 35 minutes instead of 30.
Yeah.
Screw that. I'll never go back.
I feel very blessed to have found my calling in this business. I could have found a number of things. And by the way, I think whatever people find their calling in, pursue it,
Absolutely.
Enjoy what you do.
And vice versa, Tom. If you don't love what you're doing, go find something else to do.
Change. You can make change. Yeah, I agree. Because that's what's fulfilling in life, enjoying what you do day in, day out, and enjoying the people you do it with, as well is, really, I think an indicator just towards life happiness. And, I know some people that do really well. It doesn't necessarily mean they have happiness in their life.
What's the saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's it. That's it.
It is true.
That is true. Work is work, though. And hard work, putting in hard work, doing the right things in this business can do well. But, I know through this show, I'm looking forward to, and we had that conversation the other day, Robert. Originators want one of two things. They either want to make the same amount of money doing less work, or they want to make more money doing the same amount of work.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And I think we can talk a lot about how you can accomplish either one of those things. Sometimes people settle in, get a nice business built that they don't have the grand illusions of growing it past that point, but you can live a really good life.
Absolutely. I think that's well said, guys. I think that's probably we're going to get into a lot of topics, and I'm excited to see just everything we lay out as we go. If you haven't already hit that like button, that subscribe button, go ahead and smash that now so you can keep up with us. And we're going to get really granular on some of this stuff, and if you
every week we're going to have a couple new topics.
Yeah. If you have stuff you want us to talk about, throw that out there. Otherwise, we've really enjoyed this first episode with you guys. Like I've said 100 times, there's nobody I'd rather be on this journey with than the two of you. Every day it's something new and exciting, and most days we even get along. So that's always a plus. Most days. Some days I hate you, Dave. Not today, though. Not today.
I love you both every day.
Tom always coming over the top. Hey, as we close, guys, if you had one piece of advice to put out there for people this week, what would that be?
I feel like, we get towards that this point of the year, and then we'll move in like October and November, and people start thinking about like their 2025 goals and business plan. And it's like, I'm going to wait until 2025. And you're like buttoning that business plan up like December 31st. It's like, here's how I'm going to go make $500,000 next year. I think that, don't wait till December 31st. My advice to you is to start putting those plans and those actions in place today, button that plan up, before you know it, hell, guys, it's early September. We're 45 days away from loan originators selling loans that will begin their 2025 production year. So get after it today. Stop waiting.
I think that's perfectly said, Tom, because we know, right, the activities you do today are what's going to reap you results 60 to 75 days from now. So good advice. How about you, Dave?
Go to bed an hour earlier and get up an hour earlier. Use that hour to read. Don't surf email. Either read or work out. If you do that, I 100% guarantee it will change your perspective on everything.
I'm going to take that as a takeaway and challenge accepted. Tom and I were just at a place and a gentleman got up and spoke, and he said that if you get 5 hours of sleep or less a night, your morbidity rate goes up 67%.
Yeah.
Which was mind blowing to me. So
I sleep 7.5 to 8 every single night for the most part.
That's why you have those boyish good looks. Here's mine.
I'm looking to go to bed earlier, but kind of get up the same time because I need to add those hours in. I'm kind of behind, but the great episode there. Sometimes that mental preparation. How do you prepare for
the week and for the day?
Dave's very regimented. We're getting your text at 5:35, 5 minutes after you just woke up, Dave.
Yeah,
we love it.
I love it. Here's my piece of advice, guys. If you're not doing it already, it's a really simple and easy piece of takeaway. Answer your damn phone. Right? 83% of loans originate with the first loan officer that the person speaks with. Answer your phone. That's it. Enjoyed it, boys. Looking forward to the next one.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Hey, you'll see a follow on screen with our contact information. You have any questions, interested in chatting with one of us, reach out. Don't hesitate. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.